You are watching. Pause. We pause for a second or two. How do we keep life coherent when so much is changing? This is episode 220. Icons and Idols Platform. About a week ago, here in Sweden, where I am sitting, we had on television, we had the finals, the final contest, the final episode of our yearly Festival of Melodies, as it is called. In Swedish, Melodifestivalen. Melodifestivalen, or the Festival of Melodies, is the Swedish preliminary round of crowning Sweden's contribution, Sweden's song for the Eurovision Song Contest. So, you are probably familiar with the European Song Contest and the history behind the European Song Contest was that it was started in 1956, and it was created as an extension of the European Broadcasting Union, as this sort of European initiative to foster relations between European countries. So that was in 1956, the first edition of European Song Contest. And then 2 years later, in 1958, Sweden had their version of this Festival of Melodies to find a song to send to the European Song Contest. And since then, maybe 1 year here or there have been cancelled, but basically every year since 1958, Sweden has been watching this program on the television. So almost 70 years, 65, 70 years. So that's quite a long time for a television show. A couple of years ago, me and my spouse attended one of these preliminary rounds of this contest, this Swedish preliminary contest. And at it, many people wave around these. It's this sort of stick or short staff, which is supposed to be blinking in all these different colors, but the battery here is dead now. And you can see at the top here, you can see the symbol for Melodifestivalen, as it's called in Sweden. So you can see here there's an M, as in melody. And you can also see that it is shaped like a crown. So it is playing with the fact that Sweden is an old monarchy, and that we have had one and the same king, King Carl Gustav, for 50 years. So also for a long time we have had one and the same king. And if you ask the common Swede, they would say that Melodifestivalen is a very taken for granted institution. It is every year, and many people, especially kids and families, and the LGBTQ community, are really looking forward to it, and they spend a lot of their time and energy following it, and it's a big thing in Sweden. Even if you're not watching it, you are hearing about it. It's basically, it's difficult to miss that this program is on TV. And it's quite a party. Everyone is waving these around, and they have colorful clothes, and it's a festival. It's a festival. Today's episode is called Icons and Idols Platform. And the emotional situation we're talking about today is our long-term situation. And long-term is for when we are thinking about our future, or when we are worrying about our future. For those moments, we find ourselves in our long-term situation. And the specific skill for today's episode, as part of our long-term situation, is specific skill melody. And that's very suitable for talking about the Festival of Melodies. Specific skill melody is that each and every one of us, in order to want to get up in the morning and go about our day and live our lives, we need to be in touch with what is important to us. There needs to be something in this life that we really care about and feel really excited about. That is melody. And if we do not have melody, if we do not have something that we are excited about, then doesn't end well. So we must have something we are excited about. And in Sweden, Melodifestivalen has been something many people, especially young people, kids, have been really excited about. Today's episode is called Icons and Idols Platform. And Melodifestivalen, this crown, this M, has been the platform where many Swedes have explored different idols and icons to emulate in their lives. Something to be excited about. Melody. Something to be excited about. So, an idol, or an icon, maybe I should start with. An icon is an image, or an archetype, if you will, or an embodiment that is eternal, like a role played in a drama that is just eternal, beyond space and time. It just exists like an idea. And idols are people who momentarily, for a period of time during their lifetime, fills the role of an icon. So, for example, in Melodifestivalen, the different idols of our time, different attractive and charismatic people, artists, for the duration of that song that they're singing or playing, 3 minutes or so, they step into the shoes of being an idol for people, someone to emulate, someone to feel excited for. And the Festival of Melodies, and in extension the Eurovision Song Contest, have for a long time, long term, for more than 65 years, been the platform where many Swedes and many Europeans have explored different idols and icons. So, after this contest, or during the contest, the Swedish family, it's often families, sits at home, and maybe the father of the family says, "Oh, that idol is great, I love her." And the woman says, no. And then another song, and the mother says, "Wow, he is great." And the father goes, "I hate his guts." And then the kids have their favorites. And there's this back and forth going on. These different melodies sort of intertwining. This playful back and forth and individuality. This sort of exploration of individuality. And so, why are we talking about this subject now? Well, as we said in the beginning of today's episode, the Eurovision Song Contest and the Swedish contest was founded in 1956 and 1958 respectively. And it was about a decade after the end of the Second World War. And this platform for Europeans to explore idols and icons, melody to feel excited about, it has now gone on for 65 years since the last sort of conflict-ridden time or conflicted time. And now Europe is looking at conflicted times once again. So I guess what we're talking about today, when we are thinking about our long-term situation, being worried about what is going to happen to the platform that we are used to when it comes to exploring our icons and idols, things to feel excited about, ways to be an individual, to be excited about our lives, especially for kids. Because it's not really said out loud, but there is this feeling that this platform, the Festival of Melodies, the European Song Contest, is sort of not feeling as stable as it has been. It's rocking. And everyone can feel it. The kids can feel it. And to explore icons and idols is one thing in peacetime. And it would seem that it changes and becomes something else in wartime. Because in wartime, less emphasis is put on the individual. Less emphasis is put on specific skill, melody. There is not as much room for this in wartime. At least not in that sort of individual, sort of empowering sense or feeling free to explore sense. There's just not space for it, or so it does not feel, at least. And when we are watching this contest, we can also see in the artists themselves that they are exerting themselves more. They are consuming more energy. It's more difficult for them to do what they do in these times. And it remains to be seen. How do we explore icons and idols during wartime? Because we do not know. We have not done it before. It is new to us. It is new. And part of it will be tough because we have had this institution, this contest, this song contest for so long. We have taken it for granted, and many people have looked forward to it every year, and now it's starting to feel different. So it's tough. It's not ended, it's still going, but nonetheless the feeling is somewhat changed. It is. Or maybe we have spent so many years exploring different idols and icons in order to prepare ourselves for wartime. That could be part of it. That could be part of it. Will something new arrive? A new platform? Or will the old one change into something slightly new or something different? Or both? The icons and idols will remain, but perhaps the platform will change. That's it for today. Thank you.